All right. I don't know where the audio's coming from, but we're going to have to check that real quick.
It sounds fine.
Does it sound all right? How can we be picking up?
Oh my gosh, it's on me.
Huh? We're going to have to check that real quick. It sounds fine. Does it sound all right? Where's the audio coming from?
Probably.
I don't know.
It's just coming from the camera.
Let's not jinx it.
Because I just unplugged it. Okay. We're going to try something live here so everybody can hear us apparently. So Gloria, that was Gloria that just jumped up out of the seat to show me it was working. Over here, 2 ground school members waiting on the side, Dan and Gabriel. And over here is Courtney. She's running the master control board over there. Courtney is going to be taking your questions and relaying them to us while we're live. And we're going to swing back around here and try to get back to where we're supposed to be and try to figure out this live thing, because this is all part of having an online business and doing video and doing audio. I even watch the pros. My heroes that I watch, they have live events sometimes, and I watch things go haywire, and they just say, hey, stand by, give us a minute, we're trying to fix stuff. We have a 2 mic system set up here. I have a mic on Dan. Let's do a test, 1, 2, 3, Dan.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Yep, see, that was really weird. Up across the room. So stand by. There we go. Hopefully we are now. Can you check, Gloria?
Test.
Can you still have audio? Looks like it. Now Dan, say test 1, 2, 3.
Test 1, 2, 3.
There we go. So there we go. We just fixed an audio problem. I accidentally unplugged the microphone and it went to the backup camera, audio on the camera, I guess. Anyway, I don't know. So,
Bluetooth, maybe.
it looks like it's working. Hope you can all hear us. We're gonna hit number 1 in just a little bit. So I think first, since these 2 guys are over here waiting, we'll get Dan up here first because he was here already first this morning. In case he wants, and he's welcome to hang around. Come on over here and jump in front of the camera.
All right.
Dan has been, you see him on Facebook as Taz, is his nickname.
Yep.
He was here about a year ago. Was it a year ago or 2 years
It was
ago?
about a year and a half ago. Yeah.
Blueberry.
Yep.
So, going on almost 2 years since you were here.
Yeah, probably pretty close.
So, a ton of stuff has changed since you were here. When you were here before, were we even over here doing all this?
Yeah, I think you just started setting up.
Just had this set up. So you are from Indiana.
Yep.
From the Rochester area.
Mm-hmm.
Helicopter instructor and fixed wing instructor.
Yep.
Been a ground school member for a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
And you used ground school to get what ratings?
My CFI and probably the tail end of my commercial.
Awesome.
So.
And what's fun about this is, today is the big launch of the book, How to Build Your Online Business, but we're documenting Helicopter Online Ground School, how I did that. So basically, Helicopter Online Ground School and Build Your Online Business operate in the same system. So the things we're talking about as far as, someone coming into your membership site, using your training, logging into their iPhone, their iPad, their desktop, whatever the case is, it's going to work the same for anybody wanting to build their online business. I want to say to my members that are worried, oh, Kenny's going to be doing that now. He's not going to be doing ground school. That's not the case. We've been documenting for 3 years what we do and how we do all this. I enjoy teaching. I love teaching. I still fly. I'm still flying. Gary's coming full time. So any ground school members watching, don't worry. It's not like, oh, Kenny's not flying anymore and he's going to blow ground school off, because that is not the case. Ground school is going to get bigger, better than ever. As soon as Gary gets here, I've been telling people for a few weeks, oh, Gary's going to be starting, but his retirement got delayed a little bit. He's here flying all the time, and as soon as he retires, Gary will be here Monday through Friday, morning till night. He said, Kenny, I will be there for you every single day. I'm going to back you up. I'll handle customers. I'll make sure people get their phone calls returned. I'll go through ground school. I'll help you do videos. And Gary joining is going to be the biggest thing to help move ground school forward, because when I used to work alone, I tried to do everything, and I'll try to be good at answering people right away. I'm not always as good at it, because sometimes I just plain get overwhelmed and I couldn't always take care of everybody. So Gary's going to be full-time. He's going to be flying with members. He's going to be helping me with ground school, And we'll have a dedicated number where you can call in Monday through Friday. Gary will answer the phone. He'll be able to talk to you, take care of you, unlike the way I've done it in the past. Honestly, I can't answer the telephone. I can't have the interruptions. During the daytime, you're trying to shoot video and the phone's going off. There's nothing worse and nothing more distracting than trying to do all that. So anyway, going off on tangents here because I told these guys, I'm nervous. I'm sick at my stomach. And I do this stuff every day. But today is a big day and it's just different. I don't know why. To have 3 ground school members here all at the same time, that's never happened. Ever. Lance is out flying the Instructor right now. Just got his check ride done last night with Gary. We did a short video last night. He shows up Wednesday, has his check ride done last night and Sunday. The guy traveled from Texas to fly here just because sometimes at flight schools you don't have dedicated instructors. They don't want to do ground school. They jack you around trying to get your rating done.
Yep.
Is that not what happens?
Absolutely.
And
all the time.
We're not time builders here. You know, this is what we do. And if you come to finish your rating, we just want to get you done and out of here. You know, we like to fly. Flying's fun, but you know, ground school's number one. Mm-hmm. So, tell us what you do in Vegas for the interested parties out there.
Well, I'm full-time Air Force, and then part-time after work and on the weekends I fly helicopters, instructing, and fixed wing as well. So
nice.
Do a little bit of both.
What do you do in the Air Force?
Right now I'm flying UAVs. So
nice.
I've been doing that for about 5 years. Flew B-1s for about 7 years before that, and T-38s for about 7 years.
Wow. Because that's something that I want to know a little more about. This year, you know, I got to speak at HeliExpo. I had the privilege of being invited by Randy Rowles, and I spoke at HeliExpo at the Flight Instructor Refresher Clinic. And I had several things assigned to me to teach, and one of them was UAVs. Okay. So I had to research real fast and try to put something together. Because I don't know anything. I mean, I'm not being honest, I don't know that much about drones. I'm just heavy into helicopters. So I did a bunch of research getting ready for my presentations down there. And that was going to be my first presentation that day. So I have 3 things ready to go. The first thing I was going to do was the drone stuff. And I'm in the room all by myself getting ready for 60 instructors to come walking in. And I'm nervous that day because if I was talking to a bunch of private pilots or student pilots, oh, I'd have been fine, but I'm trying to speak in front of my peers, 60 instructors, and I'm a nervous wreck. And they come from another class, they all come walking at the same time, and then I go from a big room, huge room, my presentation's up on the wall, ready to teach drones. 60 people walk in, and the guy comes over and goes, hey, the drone thing you were going to do first, just skip that. They've been in a drone for 2 hours. They've been hearing about UAVs, and these guys are going to be tired and going to want to hear about it. So then I'm like, okay, there went my flow of what I was going to do, what I was going to teach, out the window. So then I'm like, okay, I got to get my mindset to jump into another program. So what I'm leading into is, for a long time we've been talking about doing some kind of a drone course, adding to ground school. Not that I'm a drone expert, but what I found very quickly in the research was, and tell me if you think this is correct, 75% of what you're going to have to know to go take the drone test to be a commercial pilot for drones so you can make money is, would you say 75 of it is all the same stuff you have to know for, like, say, the private helicopter?
It is, absolutely.
So we thought, and Gary and Steve and I have been talking about this, it's like, you know, why not do a small drone course to help people learn the information for the drone test, because we can take a lot of what we already have built, then we got to add some videos for drone specific things. And Gary is a study really hard kind of guy, and you give him a task and he does it. So I thought, well, I can let Gary kind of outline it and what we need, tell me what videos he needs, and we could kind of build something like that together.
Absolutely.
You think that's a good idea?
Absolutely. I think it'd be great.
How many, a while back I was watching a show on drones about, I don't know, 6 months or a year ago. At the making of that documentary, they said 50% of the military pilots were drone pilots. Is that anywhere close to being?
It's probably close. Yeah, it might be a little exaggerated. I don't know. I think at one point or another, every Air Force pilot has been a drone pilot of some sort.
Okay. So brings up the question that I don't see popping up a lot, that's on my mind is, you know, how soon do we have to worry about helicopter jobs going away?
I don't think it's going to, I think helicopters are always going to be there because there's some tasks that, you know, a drone just can't do,
right.
You know, that you need a person in that aircraft to actually get in there and do the shots and stuff like that.
Right.
So,
well, and I of course hope that too. Mm-hmm. You know, I make my living with helicopters,
absolutely,
flying them, teaching in them, and I don't want my livelihood to go away. Mm-hmm. But drones are here to stay.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
We know they're going to become, you know, more and more popular. So I find that as something pretty intriguing. I've been waiting. I'm surprised that I'm not more people asking me. Well, hey, aren't you worried about drones? And are they going to put helicopters out of business? Because you know, some like photo things could be done with the drone, but I think you're right. There's so many things that people still want to pilot at the.
Absolutely. They
don't want to climb in something that's just being flown remotely, or
right.
You're having a computer take care of the flight for you. How about online training? We know that's where the world's going. Because similar to the online business that I'm just launching and building, how did you use Helicopter Airline Ground School? How do you use that to study?
The way I used it was, you know, like for instance for my CFI, going through the PTS and finding the different subject areas and coming up writing my lesson plans. It's a lot of information, trying to get it digested and an easy way to explain. Turn to Kenny and listen to how you explain it, and then that way it helps me kind of understand the relationship, you know, whether it's the aerodynamics, you know, which being a fixed wing guy, I thought I knew aerodynamics. Well, I didn't until I learned helicopters.
Right.
You know, so that was a big thing for me, is going through all those videos and really being able to piece it together and be able to now convey it to, you know, my students now.
Nice.
So same type of thing. I always tell all my students, go check out HOGS, you know, listen to what Kenny's got to say. He's been doing it for a while and he's got a lot of good information. So
I appreciate that. 5 years, the success has been amazing. And I'll repeat like what Gary said when we were coming back from Gary's commercial. You know, he goes, I still read and I still study, but he goes, I study till I can't stand reading anymore, and then I turn on your videos.
Yep.
So Gary, for an example, he didn't use just only Helicopter Airline Ground School. He's still studying the FAR AIM, still studying the rotorcraft or the helicopter flying handbook. He's still studying everything he needs to study, and then using ground school, kind of like you, as an addition. I have ground school members now that say they did 0 ground with their instructor.
Oh yeah.
And used ground. I mean, I originally designed it as, I called it helicopter check ride preparation, because I was just kind of going through things that they're going to ask you, and then it's grown into a full-blown course where, you know, I had Johan. I like talking about Johan. A few years ago, he emails me and says, hey, I'm going to be coming to the U.S. to train, and I only have 2 months out of the year. I farm 10 months. I want to come to the U.S. and get my private. I was thinking about using your ground school, and I said sure. So I set him up. 6 months or a year goes by, and I get an email from Johan's instructor, not Johan, Johan's instructor, Travis, who's now a friend of mine because of this, another connection, you know, these worldly connections. Travis emails me and goes, Kenny, one of your ground school members, Johan, walked in the door, got checked out by another instructor. He shows up to start his training, and he says, the instructor tells me that his ground's done. And he goes, I thought, okay. He goes, I wasn't really, I'm thinking this other instructor's just, well, he's like, there's no way this kid is ready. So he goes, I sat down with him, and he goes, Kenny, he had the knowledge. He had every single thing that he needed. We started flying. Within 3 days, he took his written test, and at the end of 3 weeks, he had his private, and he was done. He goes, I just wanted you to know what one of your students did. You know, and I about fell out of my chair, so I emailed Johan. I'm like, Johan, what did you do? Holy cow. And he just emailed me back, and he goes, yeah, Kenny, that's what I did. I just used your stuff, and I got to meet Johan in in Long Beach, California last summer, and Gloria and I had lunch with Johan and his wife, and we sat and talked and had a nice supper on the beach, and I said, well, how did you do this, or what did you do? And he said, Kenny, I have an iPad that has internet all the time, and I'm in a tractor. So I mounted the iPad in the tractor, and he goes, all I'm doing is going like this all the day long up and down the field. Go turn around, come back. He said, so I'm in the tractor all day on the iPad watching your videos. One after another, after another, after another. And he goes, that's all I did, prepping to go to flight school.
Nice.
And then, boom. All right. Well, are you going to hang around?
Yeah, I'll be around for a while.
Do you got anything you want to tell any inspiring pilots? You want to plug what you do in Vegas about people coming to fly? Where you fly? Where do you fly at?
Airwork Las Vegas.
Airwork Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's the place that I fly. So.
How many aircraft do you have there?
Let's see. We've got 2 Robinson 44s, a 22, a couple Schweitzer 300s. That's on the helicopter side, and then the airplane side, we got a couple 172s, Cherokee 180, an Arrow, Super Decathlon.
Nice. So you got a nice variety of things to fly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and we've talked a little bit about trying to get some instrument stuff done, and we've talked about this back and forth for a while. That's another thing that Gary and I and Steve, and then hopefully with your help, that's something we need to do next too. I've been, all the time people are going, hey Kenny, when are you going to have an instrument course? I did my private with you. I did my commercial with you, but you don't have an instrument course. So we know we need to build it. We've been needing to build it, but I just couldn't do it alone. I just wiped out, tired, burnt out. I couldn't do it. But now I have Steve. Steve's been with me full time for 8 months. Gary going full time. We got this thing launched today. Gary's thinking now a couple weeks. So we think we can do the drone thing pretty quick.
Yeah.
The 3 of us, we just attack that and get that done. And then we're going to do the instrument thing.
Sure.
And that's where you could come into play and help us organize that. I'm instrument rated pilot, but I'm not an instrument instructor. I can teach that theory or some of it, but we kind of need the, are you double I?
I am, yep.
See, we kind of need that expertise of the double I to help us, put that together. And I'd like to get my double I after we build the training and I watch my own training.
Sure.
Then go take my check ride for double I. So that is something that you and I have discussed in the past, and we'll talk some more on that, because you could be the perfect fit for, you just kind of guide us, and we can build and shoot the majority of it, and then maybe have you shoot some of it with us, and get that built, and that would be awesome, because people are asking for it, and I could put that out, and I'm, members are going to be all over it going, thank Jesus, that took you long enough.
Yeah.
But, I've done the best I could for 5 years on my own, and now it's time to, again, go to the next level.
Cool.
All right.
Give a shout out to Jim Hardy.
Jim Hardy.
A new private going through your site as we speak.
Awesome. Very nice. Thanks for tuning in, making a comment, and we are going to give Amazon $50 gift cards away today. And we decided earlier the way to enter for this, we have my daughter Gloria and Courtney here. Type in HTBYOB. Did we hit it? Oh, that's old. HTBYOB, just under the Facebook comment box. Gloria and Courtney are going to keep track of your names, and then in a little while we'll print that document, cut them up, put them in a hat, and one of them will pick out a winner. So if you're watching live and you want a $50 Amazon gift card, we'll try. My plan was to do that at the top of the hour, each hour. So start typing in HTBYOB. That's it. That's all you got to put in there. The trick is, if you want to use that, you can go www.htbyob.com and go buy my new book. And give me an Amazon review, please, if you like it. I'm not bribing anybody, because that just wouldn't be moral.
Hey, T. Gregory Barry.
Yep, he's been commenting a lot. What's he got?
He says a great story about...
Get the feedback on what he likes, what works, what flows, what doesn't. Just like ground school, that's what I've done for 5 years, is, encourage from our members. Tell us what works, tell us what doesn't work, tell us what you like, tell me what you don't like. People are good, and people are not. I just said this in another video I just made. People want to see you do well. So they don't usually get rude with it. They'll just say like, hey Kenny, the audio is not that great on that. Could you make a new video there for that? Or, hey, we'd like to see this, or, the feedback is really, really good. I don't ever get upset with somebody when they tell me what they really think. Because, of course, unless they're being rude and calling me dirty names, then I wouldn't appreciate that. But in general, I mean, people are good and they want to see you do well. So feedback is how we make Helicopter Land Ground School better. That's how we'll continue to build on this. We're going to be adding to the digital book. Paper book's going to be ready hopefully next week or two. And the online ground school, Build Your Online Business, the online site, we're adding content to that because we've been documenting getting ready for today, getting ready to launch. So that's even more content going in there. So wow, I feel like I've been up here forever. I feel better now. I don't want to puke like I did a half an hour ago. Everybody was cooler going, just calm down, you'll be fine. I'm going, I want to throw up. I'm sick at my stomach. Today's just different. Well, thank you for showing up today. Thank you for all of I know you're always on there commenting, liking stuff, sharing stuff. I see your name every time. I don't maybe every time say thank you, but thank you for being a member, stopping a year and a half ago, coming today and joining us. Have 3 ground school members here in the same day. That's a record. I've never had 3 here all at once. And one from New York City, one from Las Vegas, and one from Texas all on the same day. How cool is that? The guy from Texas, Lance, is out flying his wife around the Instructor, enjoying himself, and we're going to throw him back in front of the camera too soon when he comes back.
Cool.
So let's get Gabriel set up with a microphone.